A very good morning to you. Oh, that's frozen again, isn't it? I don't know why that picture keeps freezing like that. That's me getting ready earlier. And now transforming myself into someone looking very ordinary into an international star with jacket and nice shirts on. Isn't that amazing how you can go from being a normal person, an average normal person, a bit like yourself, to an international celebrity, an award-winning star like I look like now? Don't you think so? Good morning. Yes, it's Thursday, the 24th of January 2019. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire, boys and girls, on another rather cold morning, as it was very, very cold again last night. And once again, I seem to have endless problems with gas. Yeah, not the problem with the gas that emanates from one's bottom, but gas bottles. I've got 2 gas bottles here on the side of the caravan, and they freeze. Yeah, the top of them freezes. And as you know, I've told you a few times now, it's a very easy resolution. You simply get a bottle of warm to hot water, a kettle full, pour it over the top of the little black regulator, and instant fix, and it just starts working again. And I had to do it last night when I got back from my sister's house, and this morning as well, because the gas fire won't light in the living room. And an update on the mobile gas fire. I thought I might be having a few problems with it. Well, last night it got really loud, so I turned it off, turned it on again, and only 1 bar will light now. There's like 3, when I say bars, it's not like, you know, like the long electric things. There's like 3 sections. So there's a middle section, a side on the right and a side on the left, okay? So only the middle section will light now, and there's hardly any heat coming off it. So I think empty gas bottle. That's what my brother-in-law reckons as well. When a fire starts going like that, that it means the gas bottle is becoming empty. So we reckon that's what it is. So I think today I'll just stick the gas bottle in my car, go and get another one and see if that resolves it. I hope it does, because I don't want to buy a gas bottle if that's not the problem. Do you know what I mean? Oh, actually, if I do that with it, I'd be able to hear the gas in it, wouldn't I? Because isn't it a liquid in those bottles? I think it's a liquid in those bottles. I'm sure it is. So that's I reckon that's what it is. So I'll change the gas bottle today, buy a new gas bottle, an enormous expense of about 40 quid. God, so 40 quid just to keep warm. I should just go and buy, you know, another jumper from Primark for 5 quid or something like that. A lot cheaper. So I'll see if that sorts out the problem there. I notice the whole Gemma Collins dancing on ice thing continues to burst, uninterestingly enough, uninterestingly in our newspapers. This is full of it this morning. I couldn't get the Daily Mail up on the internet this morning. I don't know why. It kept coming up as like a menu and nothing else, so I don't know if they've got trouble with their website. But in the Sun this morning, dancing on ice judge Jason Gardner, who I really detest him as well, just as much as I don't like Gemma Collins, I'll be honest. Who would I choose out of both of them? Answer, no one. I think they're both ghastly, shatting their heads off all the time. But Dancing on Ice star Jason Gardner, he's one of the judges, is going to sue Gemma Collins now, according to the Sun and many other papers, after their monster bust-up, which was on Sunday's show. Now, I don't watch Dancing on Ice. I did try and watch a little bit of it. It's not really for me. Doesn't mean it's rubbish. It's not rubbish. It's entertainment. It's entertainment, and it's sparkly, and it's pretty, and it looks good on the telly. So, yeah, it's good entertainment, just not for me. You know, one of those things. Ranting Gemma accused Jason of... Why did they put his age? Ranting Gemma accused Jason, 47. I wonder why they put his age. Of what interest is that to anyone? Anyway, Ranting Gemma accused Jason of wrecking her preparations by selling stories about her. And that Jason, he's right up his own arse, isn't he, as well? The pair of them are. The pair of them, and they've put them together. I wonder if the TV people knew something like this would happen. You know, because let's be honest, it generates newspaper stories. People look at the paper, oh, I wonder what that's about. Then they watch the telly to watch the show, along with the adverts that come in between. So maybe they put the price of the adverts up when they get more viewers. I suppose that's how it works. I don't know. His planned defamation Action is believed to be the first time a talent show judge has sued a contestant while they remain on the same series. The on-screen clash came after Jason branded Gemma lazy in an interview with the Sun last Saturday. An insider said Jason has made Gemma aware that he intends to sue her. I mean, it wouldn't occur to either of them to just have a row and then move it over. Oh, no, it's all about the money. Oh, I'm suing you. I'm suing you. I mean, how pathetic are you? What sort of man are you? What sort of man are you to be having a row with someone and, oh, I can't win, so I'm going to sue you? Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, Jason. An insider, he just sits there and shouts his mouth off, doesn't he? An insider said Jason has made Gemma aware. He insists that all he did was give an interview to The Sun when he was asked about lots of things, including Gemma. And it goes on, she's very stressed about the idea of being sued and she wants the situation to die down so she can focus on her skating. Well, why not do us all a favour, Gemma, and just go? Then we won't have to see your completely untalented face on the telly anymore. Well, just go and be done with it. And he's just as bad as oh, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. Oh, you're just pathetic. All of it. I mean, television is just going down to new levels of patheticness that I would never ever see on the telly. I'll tell you that now. You used to just have a row and that's it. Walk off. Not now. One's got to sue the other. I mean, how pathetic is that? It's got to be so. It must be the producers of the telly telling them to do all this. I'm sure it must be. Anyway, that's the whole Gemma Collins thing and what have you this morning. Oh, it's just a joke, isn't it? Let's say hello to some of you this morning. Good morning to Angela. Morning, Angela, darling. Angela Waters is in the house over on Facebook Live. Diane Jebb. Good morning, Diane. Ray Reynolds. Good morning. Heidi. Can you see anything? Oh, yes, I can see lights. I can see cameras. I can see action. I wonder what you mean now. Can you see anything? Good morning, Heidi. Katie Ann Patterson. Good morning to you. Angela. Good morning, Angela, who now says it's 39 degrees in Melbourne at 8:30 at night. Too hot for me, Angela. Far too hot for me. I told you where I stayed, didn't I, when I was in Melbourne a few years ago? The Ibis. Is it Ibis or Ibis? I'm not quite sure. They're all right, aren't they? Cheap and cheerful. Ibis Hotel. And it had a little breakfast. As you came down the stairs, there was a little breakfast place on the left. But that was dear. I thought it was quite expensive to have breakfast in the Ibis Hotel. So when I bought a box of cornflakes and a couple of plastic bowls, sat in my room and had those. What's wrong with that? Morning, Andy. Morning, Andy. Katie says, my dog has gas. Maybe I could get it bottled. Oh, animal farts are even worse than human ones, aren't they? Huh? My mate's got 4 cats and one of them farts a lot. It's the female one. What's its name? Lauren. Lauren the cat. It farts. Awful smell. Tommy Flynn, good morning. You know if it's the gas bottle by weight. Well, I mean, you'd have to remember what it weighed last time. I know when I've got the new gas bottle, Tommy, that it was really heavy. And I could tell because the old one I took in was really light. If you said, no, hang on a minute. No, I'd never bought one before. I'd never bought one before, a gas bottle. So when I went to buy the... Oh, God, blimey, this is heavy. So if I can lift that easily now, then I'll know it's the gas bottle, won't it? As I said, there's only one... The centre bar is the only one lighting now. If you try and light the other two, sometimes they light and it's just like a blue flame instead of an orange one, which I assume means it's cooler, does it? Could be cooler, I suppose. Good morning to Peter Lake. Morning, Peter. He says, we've still got snow on the ground. Went to the pub last night and it was like -2. Oh, gosh. -2 there. Peter likes the jacket and shirt. You put your number in. Oh, hang on. We haven't got to the end of that message there, have we? 1 second. You put your number in. What's he mean? Dying to know what that means now. You put your number in. 1 moment, please. Let's have a look. And you put your number up from Peter Lake. Oh, I've put my number up, has I? What, by dressing up this morning? I do hope so. I do try and put my number up very often. Thank you very much. Oh, where's my messages gone? What did I just do? Oh, I swiped left instead of right then. Oh, God. I thought I'd lost all the messages. People get ever so upset when you don't read the messages. Oh, why haven't you read my message? Because I didn't see it. Or because it was boring. We don't read boring messages. Good morning, Mr. SOS Gregorian. Morning, sir. Christopher Ireland, good morning. Hope he wins and gets... she needs a reality check. She is so false. As in Gemma Collins. You're absolutely right, Christopher. She is as fake and as false as they can be. And she can't talk. Oh, yeah, I really enjoy this dancing and all that stuff. It's really good, isn't it? She is a one-woman freak show. That's why she's on the telly. That is honestly why she's on the telly. You wouldn't catch my niece on the telly because she is a normal person. You know? She is just a freak. And she can't talk properly and she talks like that. Awful. Just awful. I mean, why can't we have people on the telly like Hyacinth Bouquet who can speak properly, dear? As in keeping up appearances. Da, 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 da. That one. You know that one. Keeping Up Appearances. Oh, fantastic show. It was a big favourite of my mum's. That show must be 20 years old, that one. Keeping Up Appearances with Hyacinth Bouquet. Hyacinth Bouquet. Did you like that? And what's that other posh one? With the big country mansion. Oh, that was good as well. Oh. The music went da 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 da. Da, 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 with Mrs. Audrey Forbes Hamilton. What was that? Country mansion, country retreats. Oh, and they did a Christmas special about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was the first one like for 20 years. Oh, now what was that? To the Manor Born, that was it. Oh, what a great programme. Proper entertainment, dear. What have we got now? Gemma Collins moaning her head off, and Jason Gardner shouting his head off. Crap television. And I don't care if you get paid shed loads of money. Doesn't mean you're good. I've worked with people who got shed loads of money, and it don't mean they're any good at it. They're just lucky. Lucky. A lot of life is luck. Honestly, a lot of life really is luck. And it's as I was meeting up with my friend Tom yesterday. And he was saying, you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's not what you know, or indeed how good you are at it. Sometimes it's who you know, how you get from place to place. It absolutely is. Let's have a look. Where are we going now? That's it. Heidi says she can't even skate. I don't know, Heidi. I mean, she didn't fall over. I was well impressed. Credit where credit is due. She didn't fall over, did she? Old fatty hardbuckle. Gemma Collins didn't fall over. Morning to Martin Edwards. Good morning, Martin. Katie's dog sits on the front of the fan and farts. Oh, dear. How gross. Great niece Emily, my great niece Emily, she likes to sit on top of you and fart on your head. I don't know why that is. She's 5 years old now. 5 years old. One of the things she likes to do is say, I'm going to fart on your head, and then proceeds to climb on top of you and try and fart on your head. One day they're going to have a terrible accident. I'm telling you that now. I went to see him last night. I'll tell you about that in a bit. Chris, 30% on the beach here in Thailand. Are you having a nice time there, Chris Mannion? Are you watching me on the beach? I want you to just close your eyes, Chris, and imagine me sitting next to you with a pair of micro-sized Speedos on. Are you feeling sick yet? Andy, thank you. To the Manor Born, Andy, Ray, yes, they're the programmes. And Martin Edwards, Penelope Keefe was on that as well. Yes, Audrey Forbes Hamilton, Penelope Keefe. What an excellent programme that was. Oh, yeah, a good mind to purchase that on DVD. The trouble is, with DVDs, I find that I buy, or I have done in the past, I buy DVDs and then they just sit there on the shelf. I've got the entire collection of Dad's Army, Dallas. I've got some, what's the little girl who runs over the hill? Oh, American program. She runs over the hill. Oh gosh, I'm struggling for words this morning. What was that program now? Just trying to think of it. I might get the music actually. Now there's the music coming down. Little girl with ponytail. She comes over the hill and it's an old prairie. Little house on the prairie. I've got some of those. I've got stuff that Ray Reynolds has given me. and it literally sits there on the shelf gathering dust, and they never go in the machine. Funny, isn't it, really? I buy this stuff. I don't know. I think there's a lot to be said for like streaming, and when people say, oh, you know, stream, you can now download your program and watch it whenever you want. Well, I don't think I've watched films more than once or twice. Generally, I don't watch a film twice. Why would you want to buy it? If you can stream it for like $3.99 or buy it for 10 quid, you're going to buy that for 10 quid, you're going to watch it once, and it's going to sit on the shelf. Waste of money. And plastic, come to that, isn't it? Don't bother anymore. Little House on the Prairie, that's the one, Andy. Yes. Ba-ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. And Chris says that as well. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I love it. Little House on the Prairie. Wonderful programme. I had an email from the estate agent yesterday, one of the flats I've got. Do you remember I told you about the windows? The windows in one of the flats? Okay, I was hoping that because they're blown on the inside, so they're all misty. Good morning, Maureen. Welcome to the show. Maureen in London there. A famous karaoke lady. Maureen is in the house. I said to you they might be able to replace the glass in the middle. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So we're going to have to replace all the windows in the flat. Oh, God. £2,500 here. Take me months to get that back in rent. Oh, well. Long term. Always think long term. Must think long term at all times. Very important to think long term. Don't think you're going to spend a penny today and get 2p back tomorrow. It doesn't really work like that. All right. So yesterday, after I finished the show, I had a lovely time, and I met up with my friend Tom. And we went to Tom Edwards, who was he's been on the telly quite a lot, and radio as well. And we went for a little meal. And he also took me, I've just got to show you outside the restaurant. Now, the restaurant was called the Abbey Lodge. Was it Abbey Lodge or Abbey Abbey Parks, that's it, Abbey Parks. And it's part of a farm. Now, I'm showing you that. You can't quite see it there. That's Tom on the right there and me on the left, just in case you were wondering. Can you see those geese behind us there? You can't quite get the size of the geese by looking at the photograph, but they were enormous. These geese were absolutely enormous, and I have a feeling if a couple of them decided to attack us and possibly try to eat us, they would have succeeded. I'm not quite sure what happens to those geese, incidentally. I'm getting all upset. Those poor geese, dear. Oh, I hope they're not going to end up in someone's oven, dear. I really do. So there were all the little animals on that there. And we had a lovely meal at, as I say, a place called the Abbey Parks, which is kind of, it's lots of things all in one. It's a restaurant. What do they call it? What's the difference between a bistro and a restaurant, by the way? Anyone know that? Or a restaurant, bistro, cafe. Is that all the same thing? Because they've got this like restaurant place built on the side of like a shop. And they sell all different wonderful cakes and sweets, and there's a butcher's next to it with Lincolnshire sausages and all this, that and the other, and it's a family run business. And I had omelette and chips, and Tom had one of those all day breakfast type things. He had one of those and some toast and some tea, and it was really good food, and for the two of us it come to about 20 quid for all that. Very impressed. The service was fantastic. The staff are friendly, and there was nothing left on our plates. The food was absolutely wonderful. So that was the Abbey Parks place, which isn't too far from Heckington. I just read a little bit on the internet earlier about it. It says we're a family-run business, and their son and daughter have decided to return to work in the business after working in London since leaving university. Farmers here in Lincolnshire. For the last 11 years, our businesses have grown and expanded beyond our expectations, and our latest addition to the family, iGrow, has brought us into the digital age with online allotments. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Online allotments. Actually, what is that? You know, if I'd have read this before I read it out to you, I would have looked this up, but there we are. Very bad preparation this morning. Abbey Parks, it's really worth going there. Oh no, that says that's something to do with hair growing. Don't know. iGrow. Oh, let's try iGrow allotments. I'm interested now what this is. I grow... no, it doesn't say. Can't find anything about that. I'll have a little look at that later and maybe read something out to you at a later time. But yeah, so Abbey Parks Restaurant, really nice place to go. And it's just down the road from Heckington. And after that, he showed me some bits of Heckington. I went to see the train station there, which really is something like... it reminded me a little bit like the Railway Children. It's only a small station. It's a bit oldie-worldy. Do you know what I mean? And we went into the gate. We weren't obviously getting a train, but nevertheless, we went through the gate and just walked up and down the platform for a bit looking. And I said, is it a once-a-day train there? He said, oh, no, we get one an hour, which was impressive. And then one side of the station is 2 lines coming in, right? And the other side, it doesn't go direct to London, incidentally. It's like a local train. And the other side, there's only one train. So, you know, obviously, if there's a train going that way, then you can't have one coming the other way, unless going that way is only a short route and that's the last bit of it, which kind of would make sense, wouldn't it? And I said to Tom, I said, do people actually, you know, go to London daily by these trains? And he said, oh, yes, quite a few. You know, they live in Heckington, which is a beautiful little village, really. They got shops and greens there and a pub, and it all seems quite safe and nice, very clean. And lots of flowers in the summer. I've seen it in the summer as well. And they've also got an 8-sound windmill. Ever seen one of those? Apparently, it's the only one in the country. And I've got a couple of pictures of that to show you. Here's the windmill there. Look at that. 8 sows. All right, you can only see 7 of them because the one at the bottom is, you know, in line with the building, with the structure there. And it's an 8-sound windmill. There's a picture of me and... Tom, I wonder why they put those bits of string around it. Can you see the bits of string in between the windmills? I wonder what that's for there. Be great living. Would it be nice living in something like that? I mean, if the bedroom was at the top and the living room was at the bottom, you'd have a blooming long way. You'd be tired by the time you went to bed, wouldn't you? Eh? So there's the windmill again, all on its own. And it's in Heckington. It gets a lot of visitors, like a tourist attraction type thing. And I found a little bit on the internet. Heckington Windmill is the only 8-sound tower windmill still standing in the United Kingdom, with its sails intact. Heckington is located between Sleaford and Boston in Lincolnshire, England. The mill stands very close to Heckington railway station, hence its name of the station mill. And they do all sorts of things there. You know, as with many tourist attraction type things, they got like little things where groups of children from school, I suppose, go and see. You can go visit yourself. They've got a little shop. And there is a website if you want to find out more about that. It's heckingtonwindmill.org.uk, all right? Heckington, that's HECKINGTONWINDMILL, heckingtonwindmill.org.uk. And that's where you can find out more about that and maybe pay it a visit. A very interesting thing to see, actually. And then after that, or before that, I can't remember. It doesn't matter about the order. We had to pop into Lincolnshire Pride, which is a magazine there. Tom was picking up some magazines because he's in. This is the magazine. I must show you. Here's the magazine, Lincolnshire Pride, and he's talking about his new book that he's got out, and other little bits and pieces. Let me find. I did have the page sorted out. There he is. There it is, and there's a picture of him in the magazine. So he's picking up some copies of that. Absolutely lovely offices for this magazine. I've got to tell you, you come off the main road and you go in there on the left, and it's all beautiful gardens and, of course, loads of places to park. One of the things you find in Lincolnshire, unless, of course, you're in a town or something like that, is that generally you can just get out, just park wherever, you know, right outside a shop or something like that. None of this business in London. Yeah, £1 for 10 minutes of parking or something like that. Don't get any of that out here. Unless, of course, you're in Lincoln or one of the cities. Generally, the little villages and places like that, you literally stop and get out. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's just a completely different way of life up here. It really is. And the other thing is, when we were waiting to collect these magazines, these two large birds appeared. Great big black things they were, with orange beaks and I think some white speckles. And I said, what are they, Tom? He said, I don't know. I said, are they turkeys? They look like turkeys to me. So this girl comes out on reception, ever so nice in there. They were a Lincolnshire pride. She came out. I said, what are those birds out there? She said, Guinea fowl. I said, oh, right. You know, trying to look like I knew that anyway, pretending. Guinea fowl, oh, of course, Guinea fowl, I said to this woman. She asked, of course they are. And so, you know, we picked up the magazine. As we came outside, I waited for the door to close. Now, it's always a good idea, if you're talking to someone about something, or you want to talk to someone about something that has just happened that you might have been talking to someone else about, wait for the door to close, all right? Or if it's a double door, wait for them both to completely close. Otherwise, you can end up like a fool, as I would have done, because as I come out, the door closed. I said to Tom, I said, did you know they were guinea fowl? I thought guinea fowl was something like guinea pigs, you know, little furry animals with 4 feet and a face. Not a bird that looked like a turkey. I thought it was a turkey, some sort of turkey. I thought guinea fowl was some sort of like guinea pigs. I knew guinea pigs because we had one of those at school, didn't you? Everyone had a guinea pig at school. Not everyone. I mean, the classroom. I don't know who looked after these things at night, but there we are. Guinea fowl, guinea pigs. I put 2 and 2 together, only to come out with completely the wrong answer. And I said, did you know that? He said, no, that's what I thought as well. Guinea pigs. So a really, really nice afternoon yesterday here in Lincolnshire. Let's just say hello to some of those people on YouTube I haven't done this morning. Good morning, Joanna. Morning, lovely Joanna. Claire L. All notifications now seem to be working. Thank you, Claire. Claire says, on the subject of the gas bottle, does it not have a little green and red indicator to show it's nearly empty? No, nothing on there. I think, Claire, that's an extra thing that you would buy. I've seen those on Amazon, and you literally, you yourself, stick them onto the side of the gas thing, and then you can see the indicator like that. I think that's how it works. Also, I've seen a couple of stories on the internet, Claire, of people that like pour hot water over the bottle, and then you can see on the side the difference where the hot water is and where the cold gas is. So that might be worth a go as well. Morning to Juan, who I haven't seen for a while. Good morning, Juan, who says, time here in the valley of Abura is 4:40 in the morning. You're a good lad. He's a good lad. Little House on the Prairie was the one. That's it, Joanna. What doth ye recommend for me? What to watch on the telly? Absolutely. Little House on the Prairie. Melissa Gilbert is very good on the eyes still. I don't know what she looks like now. No idea what she looks like now. Old little Melissa, bless her heart. Morning to Paul and Lou in Birmingham. Good morning there. Everything's working this morning. Look at that. Look at that. Please don't ask me to work on a farm. I wouldn't, Juan. I wouldn't, Juan. Worry not, my friend. Worry not. Paul and Lou, Windy Miller would definitely have got his head chopped off getting into that windmill with the 8 sows. Do you remember the tune? Dun 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 dun. That was the Windy Miller tune. Yes, of course I remember it. I remember the sound of the sows going on. I love it. Windy Miller, we are friends forever, Paul and Lou. Juan says, over at my grammar school, there is Astoria Queens. We had the opportunity to have chicks born from our incubators. What is that? Is that some sort of chicken? Is it what do you call it? Oh, hang on a minute. An Astoria Queen. That's some sort of chicken, is it, my friend? I didn't know that. You know more than me. I'm not a farmer, I'm afraid. They work blooming hard, farmers, don't they? Oh gosh, here this caravan site is part of a farm, and the owner. But funnily enough, I bumped into the owner last night. I was coming back from my day out with Tom, and as I was driving along, I thought I'd just pop in and double check with the owner. Is it okay to leave on February the 1st? Now, the site, this marina closes down for 2 months, February and March. So we have to be out 1st of February. Now, does that mean I've got to leave on the 31st of January, so it's empty on the 1st, or can I leave on the 1st of February? So I double checked. I said, look, the Friday, which is when I normally leave, is indeed the 1st of February. Is it okay to stay till about 4 o'clock? She said, yeah, that should be okay. And as I was coming down the road, you see, so I stopped at the house, and then I saw this woman in the distance, and I couldn't quite see her. I thought, and she was looking at me, and I was looking at her, and I thought, oh, is that Sylvie or not? Anyway, she didn't wave. I don't think she recognised me either. And I thought, it must be her. So I moved on a bit. And they've kind of got these wooden lodges as well. This is a new thing on the other side of the road, which are a lot more expensive than caravans. Like 100 grand they are. And you've still only got the 10 months per year that you can stay in them. But lovely places if you've got the money. And I said to her, "You're right, Sylvan." And she's got her, and remember it was cold yesterday, she's got her hat on. And I said, "I'll get in the car for Christ's sake. Come and warm yourself up for 5 minutes." So she jumped in the car, and I asked her about about staying here on the Friday. She said, that should be all right, as long as you go by Friday. You're not allowed to sleep here. You are allowed to visit your caravan in those months, but you're not allowed to sleep in them. It's a council thing. And we talked about all sorts of things, actually, while I was sitting in that car. They can't get a 12-month licence here. They would like to, but the council won't give them one because apparently we're on a floodplain. Okay, because the river's a river at the top. Now, you always run this risk. You must be very aware, if you ever buy anything that's near a river, there's always going to be that risk. But the fact is, right, that river hasn't flooded for 72 years, ever since the owner's been here. Al and her husband. So it's just, why they don't give them a 12-month licence, I don't know, but they haven't got one. So I have to be out on the Friday, and that's all right. But I had a good old chat with Sylvie in the car, talking about things, and she said, "Are you happy here?" I said, "Yeah, I absolutely love it." I said, "It took me a while to get the heating sorted out, to work out what to do." I said, "But I've got a mobile gas heater, which is fantastic, or it will be when I put another bottle on it. I'm sure it's the gas bottle on there that's giving me the problem." Hang on a minute, let's have a look there. Little House on the Prairie. Going back to Ray Reynolds there. To the Manor Born and Barbara Woodhouse Trading Dogs got huge audiences figures during the 3 months ITV strike in 1979. What, they were showing that, were they? No, hang on. To the Manor Born was on BBC One, Ray. You mean to say the reason that the... Oh, hang on. What have I done there? I've moved my mouse there. 1 minute. Let me just redo that. Sorry. Temporary fault. Please do not adjust your sets. There we are. That's better. Are you saying that the only reason they got a lot of viewers is because of the ITV strike? I don't know. Let's have a look. Do they have the windmills in Holland? They do have windmills in Holland. The 8-sound ones, I don't know, actually. I'd never seen an 8-sound windmill until Tom showed me that one yesterday. But interestingly, Katie said, "I had Guinea Fowl turn up at my place, very noisy." And Heidi seems to know Guinea Fowl is a bird. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. What happened to the phone number on the right? Phone lines are not open today, Chris. I'm not going to open them all the time. Funnily enough, I got 2 messages, private messages, from unnamed people who said to me, we prefer it when you don't do phone calls. So, it's, some people like them, some people don't. Some people like them, but it's just how it goes, okay? So, no, there's no phone number this morning. Morning to Adam the plumber. Hi to Pat. We are working in -2 conditions this morning. Is that right, Adam? Oh, you poor old thing, dear. Poor Adam. I hope you've got a little hat on. Cover that bald head of yours. I have noticed your hair's going thin at the top there. Good morning to Tracy Clifford, who says, "Get out." Get out of where, Tracy? What, out my caravan? I'm not going anywhere. I'll have to be dragged, kicking and screaming out of here. I wish someone would drag me, kicking and screaming somewhere. Yes, sometimes, Chris, I have got a phone thing set up here, but I'm not going to open it all the time because I think it's nice to do it now and again. Certainly if I've got nothing to say, which is unusual. But some people certainly do prefer a show where we don't do the phone calls. There was a couple of emails yesterday saying that. That's the phone number there, says Heidi, okay? But as I say, phone lines not open today, my darlings, okay? Good morning to Michael Pullman. Morning to you. William Coughlin. Ah, my very good Kitty Litter. She upsets everyone. Oh, I love it. You carry on being exactly as you are, Kitty. I love your posts. If she has trouble with customers in there, it's all over Facebook, you know. She runs a pub in Liverpool. She's like owner and entertainment all in one, really. She does everything. Kitty Litter. Good morning to William Coughlin in Liverpool. I've got to say, Liverpool, William, that's my favourite British accent, Liverpool. I've never been out with anyone with a Liverpool accent, unfortunately. So if you could send a couple of nice young lads my way, around about 30 years old, that'll do me. Possibly looking like football people. Then I'll be very happy with that. Talking of football, that new footballer who was just going to be signed up, was it for Manchester United? What's his name? Emiliano Sala, wasn't it? He's the one who was on a light aircraft, and they've lost the plane. It was coming over the water, and they've lost the plane. And it was very interesting, actually, to hear he had made a phone call. I don't know if it just before he left or while he was on. He must have been on the plane, saying it feels like the plane is falling apart. Now, it was on one of those little light aircrafts. I don't know if you've ever been on one of those, but they do come across as a little bit makeshift, if you see what I mean. It's like flying on a home, like a balsa wood plane. They don't look like they could take much of a problem if they had one. Do you see what I mean? You've generally got one propeller on the front, and this thing takes off like that with these little rickety rings. And I can totally relate to that because I've been on a few of those little planes and they just don't feel safe. Have you been on one yourself? It's very different. I suppose whether or not, you know, it's the same, but in a smaller scale as being on a jumbo jet. You know, when you're on a jumbo jet, you're on there, people are getting on and off. It doesn't move, does it? Unless there's turbulence. This plane doesn't move. You don't feel people as they walk down. The plane shaking around. It's just solid. You could almost be in a building. And certainly when you're in the business class, it's like you're in someone's living room. It's fantastic. You wouldn't think you were on a plane. Whereas when you're on one of those little aircraft, it totally feels like you are on a little plane. And it's noisy and you don't feel safe. Now, I've been on several of those in the Caribbean, in Vegas. The Vegas one was a little bit bigger. I think it was a 10-seater or something like that. But still, when you look around, it's just a few little bits of metal that have been welded together and you don't feel safe. And this footballer bloke, well, we've lost him. Can't find him or the plane. And it's been a couple of days now. Unlikely you'd survive. I mean, remember how cold it's been as well. So if it's cold like that and you're in the water. And such a shame because he was only a young bloke, wasn't he? In some of the papers this morning, including The Sun, it says the doomed plane carrying football star Emiliano Sala could have been brought down by a build-up of deadly ice on the wings, experts claim. Now, I'm sure you've been sitting before at an airport or something like that and your plane's a bit delayed. Oh, why is it delayed? Oh, they're de-icing the wing. Oh, why have they got to do that? Well, here's the reason. On Monday night, the single-engined Piper PA-46 vanished over Guernsey. Guernsey. One aviation expert said there are reports that the footballer was texting saying the aircraft is shaking and breaking up. Now, that's classic signs of icing on the wings. Now, I wonder, did they... I don't know how this works. Maybe you know. Did they not de-ice the wings before it took off, which I think is unlikely, right? Or, once it's in the sky, can ice build up then? But surely if that's the case, then planes just wouldn't fly in that sort of condition, wouldn't they? Or is there something on the wings, like some sort of heating mechanism, that fouled, so the ice builds up on the wings? I don't know. Perhaps you know better. The story goes on, the pilot is more likely to be wrestling with a stall at 2,300 feet. It's likely, though, that the aircraft hit the water in one piece, otherwise debris would have been quickly found, because of course it all washes in, doesn't it? Terrible. The claim comes as a British pilot of a plane carrying the new Cardiff signing admitted he was a bit rusty at the controls before it vanished. I mean, just imagine a pilot telling that, oh, I'm a bit rusty, should be all right, jump on. Pfft, don't think so. The pilot was 60 and he told his pals his fears after arriving in front. Well, 60, just a minute. Oh, yes. Yes, it was. David Ibbotson, 60, told pals his fears after arriving in France on Saturday and even joked about the state of his landing. This is the pilot. Both men are missing, with rescue chiefs saying there's no hope now of finding them alive. The footballer, he was only 28, and he probably had a glittering career ahead of him with loads of money and girls left, right and centre, I suppose. He is thought to have flown back to Nantes to say goodbye to ex-teammates after signing for Premier League side Cardiff in a club record £15 million. Gosh. But they can't find a plane, so no one really knows what happens. I hope they can find what happened, because families need closure. Do you know what I mean? They do need closure on that sort of thing. Juan, do you remember the nursery rhyme? I know an old woman. Of course, yes. I know an old woman who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. Now, who sung that? Was that one of Rolf Harris's songs? No, was it Burl Ives? No, I think it was Burl Ives. Might have been Burl Ives. I know an old lady who swallowed a spider. She swallowed a spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. What's the next one? I know an old woman who swallowed a cat. She swallowed a cat to catch the spider. She swallowed a spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. And it goes on. And I think right at the end, she swallows a horse. So it goes, swallows a horse, da-da-da-da-da-da, and now she's dead. I love it. Gary Butler. Good morning, Gary. It's my nephew. No, I'm not allowed to ring my sister until 11 o'clock now because she's working at the moment. Okay, thank you, Gary. I'll keep talking. Don't worry, I can talk for another hour. Minimum. Cardiff City. Thank you, Heidi. Juan. We as a people on this planet must be getting closer in distance to the sun. Closer, closer, closer. We'd like to be close. It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing. Good. Good morning to Jerry Cashmore Smith, who's at last out of hospital again. You're in and out like anyone's business, aren't you? I feel sorry for you. Oh, chin up, mate. Chin up, Jerry. And good morning to the delightful Glenda. Good morning, Glenda. Loves the jacket. I'm looking extra handsome today. Funnily enough, Tom Edwards mentioned how nice my jacket was because this was hanging up in the car. I do try to bring a couple of jackets with me up here. Otherwise, you're wearing the same thing all the time, you see. I bought this one from Vegas, actually, when I was with my nephew in Vegas. $40 this cost. Ralph Lauren, look. $40. That was down the outlet place. You get some really, really good bargains at designer outlet places. You really do. There's two in Florida, both ends. Sorry, two in Orlando, at both ends of International Drive, which is like the tourist place. Oh, you can spend a whole day. Oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend, you know, when you go clothes shopping, don't do it every few months. Do it once a year. Save up all the money you would have spent on those little visits to the shops, and then once a year you take a whole day and you go down a designer outlet store. You'll save a fortune, an absolute fortune. Do you know what I really would like next? Do you know what I'd like? A pair of flash Jimmy Choo shoes. Oh, yeah. Jimmy Choo shoes, yes. Again, in Vegas, when I was with my nephew, we went into the Jimmy Choo shop, and they had some wonderful shoes in there. But it was like $400. $400 for a pair of shoes, dear. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. And Jimmy quite rightly said, because I'd never discovered Jimmy Choo shoes before. He said to me, he said, "But a lot dearer back home." I said, "Are they?" He said, "Yeah, oh yeah." He said, "You'd be looking at £500, £600, £700 for a pair of shoes." Anyway, I didn't take any notice of him, and I didn't buy them, of course. Got back here, and one of the first things I did was look up Jimmy Choo shoes, and he was absolutely right. They are horrendously expensive, but beautiful, beautiful shoes. Glenda, we have outlets in Lancaster. You can come here and go shopping with me, oh Glenda. We do like a designer outlet, dear. Juan, that's right, you did go to Vegas with the nephew. Handsome devil with the piercings. He ain't got... What, my nephew hasn't got piercings? What boy are you looking at? My nephew don't have piercings, mate. Do try and pay full attention to the videos. Good morning to Mark Cording. Morning, Mark. Hope you're well today, sir. Good. And that's that. Now we've got another story. Hello to Ayaz. Good morning, Ayaz. Welcome. Facebook groups. Now, you may have noticed the numbers are slightly lower on my live television presentations. Have you noticed that? Anyone noticed that? I bet you have, but you're too nice to say anything. And there's a reason for that. I don't seem to be able to share the live programs to groups anymore. What happens, and I'll show you what happens, right? If I can, yeah. So you've got a share button here, share, right? Click that, share to groups, and there comes all the groups that I'm a member of. Can you see them all down there? You can't quite see the writing, but that doesn't matter. And what would happen is that while the opening video was on, you know, the little bit of music and all that, the 5-minute video that I put on before I start, I would then go down this and simply click the blue share button, and it would be shared to the various Facebook groups that I'm a member of. And they're all something to do with this show. There's a lot of Facebook Live groups. So at the moment, if you're watching this live, this is a Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Periscope Live show. Incidentally, if you're on Periscope, we don't get the messages. They just don't come through to me. Okay? Now and again, one might come through, but generally, it just doesn't work. Don't know why that is. So mainly there's Facebook Live groups and YouTube Lives, and I simply click the tube button. I go down like that while that thing's on. Doesn't take too long, and then it's done. But what's been happening since last Friday is that I now click the share button like that, and immediately you get a message come up. Can you see that? You've been temporarily blocked. Okay? And it says you look like you're misusing the feature by going too quickly. Well, you just saw me. I've only clicked one. So how can I be using it wrongly? So there must be something wrong with that. You've been blocked for using it. Learn more about blocks in the help center. And then you get an option of this is a mistake or okay. So you click this is a mistake. Okay. And then it says thanks for letting us know. And then you click the next one. The only thing is when you click the next one, it happens again. So I don't know why that is. And that's why you're seeing less kind of numbers on there, which doesn't bother me, but it means I can't share the program onto the other walls, because as well as people that watch it live, there are people that watch the recording and they won't see that anymore. So we've kind of lost that that little group of people there. But there is a good piece of news on the Facebook groups. One of the most annoying things I have found on Facebook is how people can add you to their group where you haven't even applied to go to it. You know, so if I owned a Facebook group, say Facebook Live United Kingdom Talk, I could go down my list of friends, add, and it would automatically add you to the group. Now, the more groups you are a member of, the more difficult it is to keep an eye on everything. Certainly, when I share my shows to the wall, I don't really want anything on there that I can't share it to. Do you see what I mean? So if it might be sort of, let's think. So if I was a member of, I don't know, Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's group, I wouldn't want to share this show onto Sainsbury's group, yet it would appear down my list of groups. So then when you're going down it would go, oh, no, missed that one now, don't want that one, no, don't want that one, oh, no, don't want that one, and it'd be like that, instead of me going, because it can share on all of them. So I don't like to be on groups that, like, I don't want to share the show onto. And it's been one of the most annoying things. It would happen 3 or 4 times a week, all these different groups. Well, in the Daily Mirror this morning, it says, Facebook groups can be great at times, but there's nothing more annoying than being added to one without being told about it. And this is how it happens. But that is now set to change thanks to Facebook's latest update. The platform has made several changes by the way that members are invited to groups. Now, I don't know if the fact that I can't share anything anymore is part of those changes. I don't know. It might be. Yeah, see, you can't share anything. It just doesn't allow you to do it anymore. It says the changes were flagged by group admins and posted on Twitter. While people could previously be added to groups by friends and they'd immediately become a member, now you have the chance to accept or decline the invite. So that's a good thing. So now you're not automatically added, and then you start getting all these messages. Like, for example, if I'd been added to a Sainsbury's group, I don't know, why am I getting all these messages? I haven't. And then when you eventually look into it, someone's added you to the group. In the next few weeks, people who have been added to your group but have never visited it will appear in a new invited section in your members list. Best of all, they won't be considered a member until they accept the invite. And it says, finally, group admins will be able to send one notification to invited people to remind them to accept or decline the invite to their group. And then they won't be able to send another invite. So that's a good thing, I think. The fact that they've made that changes. Because it is, you know, you can understand people are very proud of little things they've created. I'm quite proud of doing this show, you know. But Facebook groups, people are proud that they've created perhaps a little Facebook group. I think you might be interested, and then they automatically add you. But it's like being pushed into, I don't know, pushed into someone's car that you don't want to get into. I live in hope that one day I'm pushed into someone's car. I really do. All right, so that's a good thing there. Ayaz says, thank you. I really love your videos. You're an amazing person from Pakistan. Thank you very much, Ayaz. You're very kind of you to say that. Good morning to the lovely Mari. I confused you, Mari, the other day with someone else. It was you who sent that rather nice email to me, wasn't it, darling? And it's very, very kind of you to say those things. So thank you very much. That private email from Mari. She said, I bet you won't read this out. Absolutely. I won't read that out. But it's very, very sweet of you to write such a thing. Thank you, Mari. Murray says ice can form on the wings when in the air. Some planes, presumably the big jumbos and things like that, have heated mats on the leading edge of the wings. I need heated mats in here, dear. Well, I need a new gas bottle, I know that. So thank you very much. And Ayaz says, strongly agree. It's really annoying when someone adds you to a group without asking your permission. So thank you very much. Juan says, Alan Edmonds is a very true blue American shoe store. I've not heard of that one, Juan. Okay, not heard of that one. Good, there we are. One more story for you today in the Daily Mirror. And this one has been around for a couple of days. I think it came out on the 23rd. So, oh, yesterday. It's not too long. Who do you fancy getting married to, eh? There's some really weird people in this world. Very, very strange and mysterious people. This woman, 49 years old, her name is Pascal Selick. 49 years old. She's got blue hair and like extensions which look just absolutely hideous, I've got to say. She's enlisted the help of a wedding planner to make sure her wedding day is absolutely perfect. Nothing wrong with that, I can hear you saying to yourselves. Except she's planning to marry her duvet. As she claims it's the most intimate and reliable relationship she's ever had. She's organising a lavish ceremony with the help of a wedding planner to celebrate her love of her bedding. Just in case you didn't hear me properly the first time, this woman is going to marry her duvet. The artist, who describes herself as rude, crude, spectacular exhibitionist, issued an open invitation to anyone wishing to celebrate with her. While I carry on the story, let me ask you, is there anyone or anything that you would marry? I'm asking you that now. Is there anyone or anything that you would marry, and why? She said, "My duvet is the longest, strongest, most intimate and reliable relationship I've ever had. That's because it's always been there for me and gives me great hugs." Well, I hope she's washed it a few times. Dirty cow. Oh, no, you've got to wash your bedding, dear. Some of that stuff's alive with one of those insects you get in your bed. Bed bugs. Oh, bed bugs. I know a few people who have had those. Not me, fortunately. One bloke, he was staying upstairs at the pub, the place in Clapham I was working at. He was living there, and he used to wake up with all these bites all over him. Bed bugs, dear. Dirty people. She says, "I love my duvet so much. I would like to invite people to witness my union with my most constant, comforting companion in my life. There will be music and a ceremony, laughs and entertainment. Pascal will be wearing a nightgown, dressing gown and slippers for the big day, but she's keeping her husband-to-be's outfit a surprise. The ceremony will be held on February the 10th at Rougemont Gardens in Exeter, Devon, followed by a free wedding party at the Glorious Art House in 4 Street. What a weirdo. What a weirdo. Guests have been asked to wear dressing gowns. Well, it would be no good for me. Dressing gowns, pyjamas, onesies and slippers, with the option of also bringing cuddly teddies or hot water bottles if it's cold. Well, number one, I sleep naked in bed, boys and girls. I know. I want you to just close your eyes and imagine that now. Close your eyes and imagine me sleeping naked. That's doing something for you, isn't it, eh? Is there a little damp spot appearing anywhere? Is there? Is there? I also have an electric blanket. Quite how I would wear that and plug it in, I don't know. To help make the wedding the best day of her life, Pascal has recruited Anna Fitzgerald of Woohoo Art Events as her wedding. She's even got a wedding planner. What a weirdo. She says, this is the most art happening to date. I'm really pleased to be involved. Yeah, of course you are, my love. Just think of the money coming in, dear, the money. Valentine's Day can be depressing for lots of people, so hopefully this will lift people's spirits. It would be wonderful if folks could shake off their English reserve and rock up in their sleepwear for a bit of light-hearted frivolity. Well, I don't know about that. What do you reckon on that one? Who would you marry? Juan doesn't like bed bugs. He thinks they're icky. They're nasty things, dear. Nasty, nasty things. Paul and Lou, 17 years together and still haven't married the missus. Very sensible. You often find, actually, Paul and Lou, and I say this hoping that you haven't arranged a date to get married, but often people are together for years and years and years. And then they get married and it doesn't work. Funny, isn't it, really? That does actually happen. Doesn't work for some reason. Oh, well, that's the way of the world. Okie doke. Let's do... anyone else going to get married there? Let me have just a double check. Anyone else who's going to get married there? Excuse me. Right, okay. Birthdays today. We only got 4 birthdays today. Paul Finicky is a young 39 years old today. Good morning, Paul. Paul Finicky, happy birthday to you. Carol Ann Ruckoff. Good morning, Carol. That's my best mate's mummy. Mummy Carol, 72 years old today. Happy birthday, Carol. Hope to see you again soon. Get him to bring you down to karaoke for your birthday. Get him to spend some bloody money on you, darling. There we are. Happy birthday, Carol. Mystery Shaw. Mystery Shaw, happy birthday to you. And also Holly Emma's birthday this morning as well. Good morning to you, Holly. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls. Have a nice day. Ray Reynolds noted yesterday that we didn't have the birthday music. No, I thought that bit of birthday music I played the other night was a bit elongated. So I want to get my normal wishing people happy birthday onto this particular machine. And then we'll be able to do it then, okay? Paul and Lou, if we arrange the date, you can do the disco. No, don't do that anymore. No more DJing for me. Funnily enough, there was someone who offered me a night last night. I got a message through. Place in Greenwich, actually. I wasn't offered the job. I was just told about it. And did he want me to put my name forward for it? And I said, no, please don't. No, I'm done with the DJing. I'm quite happy doing karaoke. I do 3 nights a week. I do 2 nights karaoke and 1 night kind of hosting with a little bit of DJ. That's enough for me now. I'm quite happy with how things are now, really. All right. Okay, boys and girls, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Hopefully see you again tomorrow morning. All right. Fingers crossed for that. I'm so glad those notifications seem to be working nicely now on the YouTube as well, so no one's missing anything. You have a lovely day. I'm probably I've got to go up to Boston today. I'm going swimming at the Boston swimming pool because the showers... actually, the Boston one does seem to be a little bit closer, but the showers are not working at the Horncastle one properly. So I'm going to a different one at the moment. And the Boston one is actually nearer. So I might carry on going to that one. It's also a little bit bigger, so you don't have to do so many. You do the same time, but you don't do so many lengths. And I noted that it wasn't as busy there either as it is at the Horncastle one. So I'll probably go up there after the show. Just have my pills and maybe another cup of tea before I go. Have a lovely day, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much for joining me. And I'll see you again hopefully sometime tomorrow. Enjoy your Thursday. Bye-bye now.